Little boys and girls, we're going to take a look at a really cool ninja game, Ninja Commando. Really, it's actually considered a top-down shooter, probably in the Akari Warriors-esque style. Produced by, developed by ADK, I believe, came out in 1992. I believe it's rated at 54 megs, and plot revolves around a scientist with a time machine trying to kill people and destroy shit and past, present, future. So cliche. And you can pick from 3 ninjas. We're all with different abilities, but even though they're technically the same, to be honest with you, it has just that arcade type of feel, that arcade type of repetitive type of style play, but it's still a good game nonetheless. Alright, so let's just get into it. Alright, yeah, the guy who is trying to take over is a guy named called Spider. And you can choose from the different characters. I don't know if it's Joe or Ryu. I'll take the broad. Because I know one of them is descendant of Fuma. Alright, as you see, basic is your multi-shot. And basically this game, I don't know if you can really call it an action game per se. It's almost like it's just basically a shooter. That's basically what it is. It's just a top-down shooter. It's very much in the sense of Akari Warriors. And that's basically how the game really plays out. Just a lot more prettier, of course. It's just a really early Neo Geo game with some really cool graphics for its time, I would say. I mean, it wasn't the most glorious looking game out there because... but it still was actually pretty impressive with the different explosions and the different type of enemies you'd be facing. And what was cool too is you actually had a life bar, and you can see some similarities between this and my last overview. What was that? Shock Troopers. So, I mean, there are some similarities in some way, shape, or form, but Shock Troopers, there's an overall improvement, of course, on this, even though they're different companies. And it's cool you get different life and stuff like that. And you do face end bosses and all. I guess that's the guy you gotta fucking kill right there, Spider. Like I said, this is a pretty decent game, but it's fairly repetitive. I do like the graphics, like I said. I think they're pretty decent for the time. Even though they're not mind-blowing by no means, they're still pretty decent. I think this might be our first boss. There we go. I'm just using the special stuff here. And like I said, you can switch between them. Here's the third guy, Joe. Here's your magic. Alright, basically that's what it is. So, the sound-wise, the music's not bad. I mean, it's not gonna change your life, but it's not bad for its time. Like I said, the graphics are really colorful, but they're nothing to write home about in that sense. The music is decent. Gameplay-wise, the only thing that I can say really bad about the gameplay is there's no directional shooting. It's basically just straight line shooting, so sometimes that can leave you in a pretty bad predicament. But that's the only really nitpick of the game, to be honest with you. I mean, each of the stages are different. They're unique, like I said, during different periods of time. Some of the bosses are pretty cool. But it is still an arcade game, and therefore there can be some cheap deaths here and there. But that's to be expected. But I guess once you play the game more often, then you're kind of getting used to that. So you'll start to understand more of the patterns and things of that nature and all. Now, unfortunately, the game has really, really increased in value. I mean, I'm not saying when this game initially came out they were giving it away, but it was much easier to get than it is nowadays. Now, I got this, of course, you see I'm playing on the MVS, and it's outstanding title, but trying to get this for the AES, oh man, you may as well just put a fucking a down payment, because this game has gotten so expensive overnight, it seems. It just seems this game goes for no less than $300, and that's for the Japanese version, so God only knows what the American version might be going for at this time. So I'm pretty content having the MVS version. So that's really the only downfall of this game. Like I said, I mean, it's a very old school shooter. It's not without its fault, but the thing is that it's pretty decent, and it goes to show that the system was capable of making some decent shooters for the time. And like I said, you know, a lot of inspiration you can see came from later shooters from games like this. And that's what's really cool. You know, they just improved upon basically whatever material they had, especially 80K. And 80K is known for making some kind of like insane type of games. Like, they just try to think out of the box. That's one thing I always liked about 80K. Whether you agree with me or you don't, but that's how I really do feel. I think they always try to think outside the box and create something a little bit more unique than the next development company. Unfortunately, they're not around anymore. SNK took all their IPs, so they control them. But the thing is that it's still an awesome game. Now, like I said, I believe it's for the virtual consoles. You can get this on. I'm fairly damn sure you can get it on that. What else the hell can you get it on? I think you can actually, besides MVS, the Neo CD, that's basically how you can get it. I don't think there's any other ways that I'm aware of, to be honest with you. But I definitely know it's a virtual console, Neo CD, and, oh yes, an 80K compilation that came out years ago, which is actually really cool, and it's actually that's even expensive as shit to get a hold of, believe it or not. So yeah, my recommendation is definitely check out the game. I think you'll enjoy it, but like I said, it's limited. You gotta remember, for the time it came out, you can't expect too much out of this game. True, it could have been more, because you had games like Contra, which were like really, for the time, pretty advanced games. And the Super Nintendo was out at the time, so they were improving on games of this nature. And that's what I was saying, is it kind of falls behind in some ways, but it's still an excellent game, and it should be checked out. If you can find it for relatively cheap on any platform, I highly doubt the AES, because the MVS one is pretty damn expensive. Check this game out. I think you'll really enjoy it, and you'll appreciate some old school action. Alright, let me leave you with some extra gameplay, and then I'm out of here. Alright then, I'm going to leave you with that little bit. I hope you enjoy. Like I said, if you can, try to check this game out. Probably the best way might be to go the MVS route or the Virtual Console route. If you can secure the 80K compilation for PS2, that might be a really good idea, because you'll get a chance to experience a lot of other 80K treasures. So, like I said, I hope you enjoyed. Take care, and have a good time.